All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Monday. All right, Black Monday crash. All right, the markets are looking very rough. If you look at the crypto market, if you look at the stock market, everything is down 20, 30%. And a lot of it has to do with this. It's called the Japan carry trade. So I think since I believe it's because interest rates are lower in Japan, people over there took positions in U.S. assets, and somehow a liquidation happened or prices went down very quickly. So, a lot of selling, a lot of selling pressure. But that's just one of the events that is crashing the markets right now. People again, jobless claims are going up, and there's pressure to lower interest rates, and we haven't got interest rates yet. You got to remember too, we were going to have about 3 to 4 interest rate cuts this year, and we went down to 2 at one point, and then it's like 1, and then we didn't know if we were going to get any, right? But most likely we will get one in September. But I think a lot of that played into the this Black Monday that we had today, and who knows by the end of the week if it's going to get even more severe. In a little while we'll look at charts, but also increasing interest rates, right? So if you think about back during the COVID time, we were increasing interest rates. We just stopped increasing interest rates last year, and the problem with that is you typically don't see the effect of that until months or years later. So I think that's playing a role in this Black Monday that we had today, and prices just shooting down. Now, I don't think it has anything to do with companies, specifically AI companies. Those are thriving. AI is the next big play for years to come. And with crypto as well, we're seeing crypto crash. I mean, BTC just hit 70,000 like like a week ago, and now we're back at 50,000. I think it's bounced back up to 54K. But yeah, but so what you should be doing right now is not panic selling. That's the last thing you want to do is panic sell. You never want to buy high and sell lower. But most people can't help it. A lot of people that do that are day traders, people that trade on a daily basis. They like to get in and out. Those are the people that typically lose a lot of money. They don't know what they're doing. They think they know how to trade, and they end up losing thousands of dollars, right? Or people that are heavy, leveraged very heavy, and a lot of their options positions get called in. Their leverage positions get called in, and they take a big loss. So you definitely don't want to be leveraged too much or leveraged at all. And yeah, you don't want to be panic selling during this time. If anything, you should be holding your position. Now, if you're not in a quality asset, then yeah, maybe for you feel like you need to sell because you don't believe in the asset that you invested in the first place. So, but that's from not doing the research up front. But if you're in a quality blue chip asset, if you're in a quality blue chip crypto that actually provides utility, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about, because I don't think this has anything to do with the fundamentals of our paper assets, right? Our quality paper assets. So yeah, that's just my take on it. I mean, it's looking very sorry, it's looking very bad this morning. I kind of figured that we were going to go down like this because remember, the crypto market trades 24/7. The stock market doesn't, but they were, this whole Japan thing, they were sending out There was news about that over the weekend. And then obviously Bitcoin, crypto trades 24/7. So I saw crypto crash during the weekend. I mean, we went from 62, 63 all the way down to 55 last night. And then when I woke up this morning, we were at like 49.50. And then altcoins just got destroyed. I mean, if you look at altcoins, some of them are down 30, 40, 50%. So yeah, uh, very volatile times, but I honestly think the crypto market is going to bounce back a lot quicker. Oops, let me give me a second. I'm sharing my screen. What the heck just happened? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think the crypto market is going to bounce back a lot quicker. And we'll take a look at some charts and we'll evaluate that. But yeah, if we look at the news right here, it says the stock market sell-off is about more than a week economic data. It says Palantir raises revenue forecast on AI strength, the share surge. Traders profit from Fed rate cut, bets made weeks ago. All right, so let's see what else. It says Wall Street raises pressure on Fed. Spasm of worries force underwinding of 2024's big trade. So there's a couple reasons here in the front why they think the market's crashing. But let's take a look at the market overall. So if we look across the board, the S&P's down, the Dow's down, the Nasdaq's down, Russell's down, crude oil is up. Not sure why that's the case. Gold is down, which is surprising. Gold is not down too much. It's down $22, but it's close to like 1%. And, rightfully so, because gold is a scarce asset, right? So during these times, with gold specifically, since it's been around so long, it's not taking too much of a hit. Typically, people go to, when it's like uncertain times, people go to assets like gold to protect their portfolio. Now, you would say Bitcoin is kind of like the same thing because it's scarce, but the thing is, it's fairly new. So if you look at the market cap for gold, gold is like 10 to 12 trillion, right? Or a lot more. Bitcoin itself is like 1 trillion. I think the whole crypto market's like around 1.5 or 2 trillion. So, yeah, the overall market's down. Let's take a look at some blue chip stocks. So let's take a look at Tesla. All right, so Tesla broke 200. All right, if we take a look at the 3 months, it's definitely trending down. Let's take a look farther out. Give me a sec. All right, so if we look at the Tesla chart, remember I said Tesla, for me, once they start cutting interest rates, I think Tesla's going to break this 376 pretty easy. I totally believe Tesla's like over $1 trillion company, especially with all the things that they offer. They're the leading EV company. Even though we have all these other car manufacturers coming into the space, and they're leading the EV space, right? You have Kia, you have Ford, you have Lucid, you have all these other EV companies, but remember Tesla was the first to come out and do it. And then they're also expanding their services with the robo-taxi stuff, right? That is yet to come. They've been talking about it for a while, but it's inevitable, right? They've been talking about the full self-driving for a minute, but I think in the next year or two we may get closer to that, and along with the interest rate cuts, I think Tesla will break that 376 mark. That's just my opinion. All right. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Yeah, Nvidia took a big dip today. Remember, they have earnings at the end of August, so it's it's up in the air for Nvidia. I definitely think if depending on depending on how this week goes, it may end at $75, $80. If this was a fake out crash, then maybe we bounce back to that 110, 120 area. But I think for the most part, I think this week is going to be just going to end bearish, just in my opinion. Or maybe, this was the bulk of the crash, and maybe we just stabilize from here. But like I said, if you were watching my other live streams, I was saying how Nvidia, if you look at the chart, Nvidia is overextended. I mean, look at it. It went from 25 to 120. Remember, this is pre-split. So in Nvidia was at 250, went all the way to 1200. They did the pre-split. Now it's trading at 101. But this was a big rise for Nvidia. It's huge. So it always just correlates. If you look at charts, they don't just go straight up. So Nvidia was due for a crash, and it just so happens this Japan news came out. And also remember, Intel and Microsoft, I don't think they did well with their earnings, or they didn't report earnings that matched the previous earnings, so first quarter earnings. So Intel went down like 30-40%. So if you look at the chart, let's look at Intel. Give me a sec. If you look at Intel, yeah. I hate when this does that. Yeah, look at that. Intel fell from 50 all the way down to $20. And remember, Intel's been around since 1985. It's decently big in the chip space. It's a $85 billion company. Obviously, it's no Nvidia, but Intel's going to be around forever, in my opinion. But so I think what Intel is doing, it's kind of setting the stage for Nvidia. My guess is that Nvidia is not going to it's not going to do this what it did last quarter. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but in my opinion, I think it's just going to play, for me, it's going to play the chart out. Now, technical analysis is not everything, but I think that with the chart of Nvidia being overextended, if you look at it, like we mentioned, I think let's just go again. I think it's just going to correct. That's just my opinion. I think Nvidia is going to correct. Maybe we get a correction all the way down to, like I said, $75-$80 sounds about right. And yeah, but I still think Nvidia is a $200-$250 stock in the next 3 to 5 years. You need to, like Richard Fain says, you need to understand why you're in the position, right? Are you going to be in the position for 3 to 5 years, or are you trying to make a quick flip? If you're trying to make a quick flip and you got in during a time where, rate cuts are uncertain, people are talking about going into a recession, then that probably wasn't a good trade that you made. But if you're in Nvidia for the next 3 to 5 years, I don't think you have anything to worry about. All right, so let's look at the crypto market, because the crypto market has taken a beating. Let's pull up this BTC chart. All right, so remember, a week ago when I did my live stream, we were at 70,000, right? 70,000 BTC for one. That was just like a week and a half ago. And then prior to that, we were at 53. So we went from 53 all the way up to 70. Now we came back all the way down to around that 53, 54. So again, this is typical for the for the crypto market. But if you haven't been in the crypto market, if you haven't been through the 2017 bull cycle, if you haven't been through the 2020 bull cycle, this is probably, a lot of you probably get anxiety or nervous because these prices are doing this. But again, this is the time to load up on your position. This is not, if you have a position, it's not time to sell. Definitely not time to sell. You either want to hold your position, again, because once we're very close to Bitcoin making an all-time high and it going parabolic. Remember, it's typically 6 to 18 months after the halving that Bitcoin goes parabolic. It doubles pretty fast, right? And remember, its previous all-time high was 70,000. So a double from here would put BTC at 140,000, right? But if you look at the chart, so back in 2020, you know, and this chart is not that good, to be honest. I'm trying to see if Coin Market, probably do Coin Market Cap. Give me a sec. Yeah, let's do Coin Market Cap. Coin Market Cap has a better chart for this. Yeah, so let's look at this chart right here. All right, so if you look at, let's just go back to 2020. Remember, the halvening was somewhere around here, this area, but look how long it took before we went parabolic. And that's where we're at now. If you look at this chart right around this area where we took this dip, you see this huge dip right here? That's where we're at now at current times. You know, we're probably like 2 to 3 months out before BTC makes an all-time high, and people that have sold because of this dip are going to be, you know, kicking themselves saying, wow, if I only held for 2 to 3 months more, I could have, you know, realized a bunch of profit or a bunch of gains, right? Only profit if you sell. And only losses if you sell. It's only losses if you sell, only profit if you sell, you know. So, yeah, I think this is just part of the cycle. We saw Peter Schiff on Twitter yesterday. You know, he couldn't wait for this to happen. He's like a gold bug. He doesn't believe in BTC. But, you know, watch when it breaks. Those people are either going to be on Twitter saying, oh, well, you know, it's wait till it goes to zero. They've been saying it for a while. But I just think it's part. I don't think it is just part of the pattern. I mean, if you look at the chart, we have dips all the time. You know, it's just not a straight up shot. Like if you go from 2022 on back, look at the chart. It dips, it goes up, it dips, it goes up. And every dip, if you go back to every dip, there were news articles that came out and said, oh, it's going to zero, this, that, and the third. So, but, you know, it doesn't, if you really look at the landscape, you know, we have all these ETFs being created by people like BlackRock. Remember, BlackRock has trillions of dollars under management, and companies like that are not going to get into an asset if they think it's going to go to zero, or they think they're going to put their clients' money in this vehicle that's going to drop 50% and not come back. BlackRock wouldn't do that. And then there was also a report that Chase was going to start recommending BTC ETFs to their clients. And remember, Jamie Dimon, he was, you know, saying how Bitcoin's not worth anything, but on the back end, they're purchasing all this BTC. So, yeah, I don't think, you know, it is rough to see your portfolio like when the crypto market. So just to put it in perspective, when Bitcoin takes this type of dip, right? Bitcoin's down 8% in the last 24 hours. But if you look at other like altcoins, they're down 36, 31, 35, 34, 35, 37, 20. So it's not just one asset, right? It's across the board. Everything is falling 30 to 20%. So if you don't, you know, if you're not looking at that, you would think it's just isolated to BTC. No, it's the whole crypto market. It's the stock market. So, and then you get those events where, you know, one event affects everything the same way. Now you'll have occasions where maybe, you know, maybe it's specific industry that there's some negative news that comes out, and they just, that specific industry is destroyed, but everything else is running up. But in this case, it's one of those catalysts, it's one of those news events where it affects all assets across the board and everything is falling 20 to 30%. And the best thing to do is to hold your position or dollar cost average. Just the last week, I put an extra 10 grand in the crypto market. I wish I would have known it was going to go down a little bit further, but you can't really time those things. It was still on a decline. So the money that I added in, still, I got good prices. And yesterday I put another 2,000. So, the best thing to do is hold onto your position or add to the position that you have during these times. These are the times where you make your money, right? And again, you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I in this asset? Do I believe in this asset? Because if you believe in the asset and it goes down, this shouldn't, move you. I don't think this will last too long. I think this may be a month. Remember, again, we're getting our first rate cut in September, so I don't think it's going to last too long. Specifically, it's, this Japan news and stuff like that, people over leveraging. So it just affected the whole market. But yeah, so let me stop sharing my screen. But yeah, so, dollar cost average, make sure I always say, make sure you have a list of your favorite assets. So that way, when stuff like this happens, you could go to your list and you could say, okay, this is my list of favorite assets. I can go and purchase my favorite assets now because I have my list. I have extra cash on the side. Now I can add to my position and, make some money when the market comes back. Because the market's always going to come back. There's never been a time period, even in crypto, right? There's never been a time period where the market has never come back and everything just goes to zero. Now, there's been certain stocks, certain assets that never come back, but even the crappy assets come back. They typically those companies, those crypto assets that go to zero, they go to zero after, like, when we're in a bear market. Usually in a bull market, even if it's a crappy asset, it still goes up in price. Usually things go to zero when nothing's really moving. It's just a bear market. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We're going to keep checking the market during this week to see what's going on. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Mr. Financial Nutrition, TikTok Financial Nutrition. There I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. during the week, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.